Good evening and no, not evening, good afternoon, and welcome back to another episode of The Longing. Today we are going to once again be continuing to read the Iliad by Homer. So let's get going. This Hector saw and thus expressed his joy: Ye troops of Lycia, Dardanus and Troy, be mindful of yourselves your ancient fame, and spread your glory with the navy's flame. Jove is with us, I saw his hand but now from the proud archer strike his vaunted bow. Indulgent Jove, how plain thy favours shine, when happy nations bear the marks divine. How easy then to see the sinking state of realms accursed, deserted, reprobate. Such is the fate of Greece, and such is ours. Behold, ye warriors, and exert your powers. Death is the worst, a fate which all must try, and for our country 'tis a bliss to die. The gallant man, though slain in fight he be, yet leaves his nation safe, his children free. Entails a debt on all the grateful state, his own brave friends shall glory be in his fate. His wife live honoured, all his race succeed, and late posterity enjoy the deed. This roused the soul in every Trojan breast. The godlike Ajax next his Greeks addressed. How long, ye warriors of the Argive race? To generous Argos what a dire disgrace! How long on these cursed confines will ye lie, yet undetermined or to live or die? What hopes remain, what methods to retire, if once your vessels catch the Trojan fire? Make how the flames approach, how near they fall, how Hector calls and Troy obeys his call. Not to the dance that dreadful voice invites, it calls to death and all the rage of fights. 'Tis now no time for wisdom or debates, to your own hands are trusted all your fates. And better far in one decisive strife, one day should end our labour or our life, than keep this hard-got inch of barren sands, still pressed and pressed by such inglorious hands. The listening Grecians feel their leader's flame, and every kindling bosom pants for fame. Then mutual slaughters spread on either side. By Hector here the Phocians Schedius died. There, pierced by Ajax, sunk Laodamas, chief of the foot of old Antenor's race. Polydamas laid Otus on the sand, the fierce commander to the Epean band. His lance bold Mages at the victor threw, the victor stooping from the death withdrew. That valued life, O Phoebus, was thy care, but Crosmus's bosom took the flying spear. His corpse fell bleeding on the slippery shore, his radiant arms triumphant Mages bore. Dolops, the son of Lampus, rushes on, sprung from the race of old Laomedon, and famed for prowess in a well-fought field, he pierced the centre of his sounding shield. But Mages Phyleus's ample breastplate wore, well known in fight on Selle's winding shore. For King Euphetes gave the golden mail, compact and firm with many a jointed scale, which oft in cities stormed and battles won, had saved the father, and now saves the son. Full at the Trojan's head he urged his lance, where the high plumes above the helmet dance. New tinged with Tyrian dye, in dust below shorn from the crest, the purple honours glow. Meantime there fight the Spartan king surveyed, and stood by Mages' side, a sudden aid. Through Dolops' shoulder urged his forceful dart, which held its passage through the panting heart, and issued at his breast. And issued at his breast, with thundering sound, the warrior falls extended on the ground. In rush the conquering Greeks to spoil the slain, but Hector's voice excites the kindred train. The hero most from Hystation sprung, fierce Melanippus, gallant, brave, and young. He, ere to Troy the Grecians crossed the main, fed his large oxen on Percotes' plain. But when oppressed, his country claimed his care, returned to Ilion, and excelled in war. For this in Priam's court he held his place, beloved no less than Priam's royal race. Him Hector singled as his troops he led, and thus inflamed him, pointing to the dead. Lo, Melanippus, lo where Dolops lies, and is it thus, or our royal kinsman dies? O'ermatched he falls to two at once a prey, and lo they bear the bloody arms away. Come on, a distant war no longer wage, but hand to hand thy country's foes engage, till Greece at once and all her glory end, or Ilion from her towery height descend. Heaved from the lowest stone and burial in one sad sepulture, one common fall. Hector this said, rushed forward on the foes, with equal ardour Melanippus glows. Then Ajax thus, O Greeks, respect your fame, respect yourselves and learn an honest shame. Let mutual reverence, mutual warmth inspire, and catch from breast to breast the noble fire. On valour's side the odds of combat lie, the brave live glorious, or lamented die. The wretch that trembles in the field of fame meets death, and worse than death, eternal shame. His generous sense he not in vain imparts, it sunk and rooted in the Grecian hearts. They join, they throng, they thicken at his call, and flank the navy with a brazen wall. Shields touching shields in order blaze above, and stop the Trojans, though impelled by Jove. The fiery Spartan first, with loud applause, warms the bold son of Nestor in his cause. Is there, he said, in arms a youth like you, so strong to fight, so active to pursue? Why stand you distant, nor attempt a deed? Lift the bold lance, and make some Trojan bleed. He said, and backward to the lines retired. Forth rushed the youth, with martial fury fired. Beyond the foremost ranks his lance he threw, and round the black battalions cast his view. The troops of Troy recede with sudden fear, while the swift javelin hissed along in air. Advancing Melanippus met the dart with his bold breast, and felt it in his heart. Thundering he falls, his falling arms resound, and his broad buckler rings against the ground. The victor leaps upon his prostrate prize, thus on a roe the well-breathed beagle flies, and rends his side fresh bleeding with the dart, the distant hunter set into his heart. Observing Hector to the rescue flew, bold as he was, Antilochus withdrew. So when a savage, ranging o'er the plain, has torn the shepherd's dog, or shepherd's swain, while conscious of the deed he glares around, and hears the gathering multitude resound. Timely he flies the yet untasted food, and gains the friendly shelter of the wood. So fears the youth all Troy with shouts pursue, while stones and darts in mingled tempest flew. But entered in the Grecian ranks he turns his manly breast, and with new fury burns. Alright, and with that we come to the end of the episode again. So I will say my usual, thank you very much for joining today. Hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon or night, No matter what time of day it is, I hope you all have a wonderful one of it, and as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.